Okay, so today we're gonna do a little birdie. What I did is I put some crackle paste on a little gesso board, and I put a little bit of color on here just so that you could see the different size cracks. But my little birdie is gonna be yellow with a little bit of blue, and I'm gonna leave his little chest as white as I can. So we'll see if we'll be able to do that. This is a very loose painting and no need to, sweat it out. It's just something that's, I had a little piece of gesso board and I wanted to try the surface. And I did the yellow ahead of time so that you have something to look at on the video. If I left it all white, you wouldn't be able to see any of my background. So for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bright yellow and I'm gonna put it on the body here of my little birdie. And I'm gonna let the crackle seep into the little body of our birdie. See that? Okay, so he's gonna have a little bit of white around his eyes. So I'm gonna put that white in there for now. We'll come back and put some other colors in there. And then I'm gonna take my cobalt blue and I'm gonna just start filling in a little bit of that color. This is like one of those little quick and easy projects that you can do at home to practice doing birds. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm just putting in my blue all the way around his little head, working with the crackle, because you never know how big the cracks are gonna be or not. So I'm just coming here and pulling that blue into the body of the birdie. See that, how cute? I'm gonna just keep going until I have a nice solid blue. And let that come down here. Okay, so I want to have some little feathers showing, so I'm going to rinse my blue a little bit, and I'm going to take a little bit of my burnt umber, and I'm going to go right underneath that blue to make that a little darker. And I'm going to come here and kind of put some feathers in it. This doesn't have to be like an exact science where, oh yeah, the birdie, the feathers are this color. I don't even know what bird this is. I'm just gonna put some burnt umber there so that we know that he has some little feathers. See that? And his little legs are gonna be burnt umber. And that little leg goes here. And I'm gonna put a little bit of that burnt umber around his eye. See that? And I'm gonna make his beak burnt umber too. And I'm gonna bring that in. Make his beak nice and big, coming in. Nice. Okay, so I want to make this orange a little bit stronger, so I'm going to take a little bit of my ochre and bring that down to his chest area. See that? And we got to put feathers on here, but first let me take a little round pointy brush. And we're gonna fill in his little eyeball so that we don't lose it. So the little eyeball is gonna be right there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some straight white around the bottom of it. And like I said, every birdie's gonna be different because you don't know where the crackle is gonna actually come. So there's our little eye. We don't need any more than that. And I'm gonna take a little bit of my yellow and my white, and I'm gonna come here and bring that out a little bit more so that you can see our little bird. Gonna put a little bit of that brown around his eyeball. Don't put a lot, you know that there's an eye there, but you don't have to have him stare at you. It's looking pretty good. So let's take a little bit of this yellow ochre and the burnt umber and put a little branch. . because he's holding on to something, right? We don't know what, but he's holding on to something. I'm gonna have this come out here. So you know there's a branch right there. Okay, so now I want to make these little feathers here a little bit brighter. So I'm going to take my yellow and go straight on to where that umber was. Nice. Cool. Looks really good. Okay, now last but not least, I'm gonna put the cobalt blue straight onto my head right here so that it really looks nice and vibrant and sharp. See that? And I'm gonna bring that in a little bit closer to the eye. That looks really good. I'm just gonna push that back a little bit. And I'm gonna put another little dot of the brown in the eye to make it darker. Now he needs feathers, right? So what color should we do the feathers? I think they should be yellow because the little head is blue and we want that to stand out. So I'm just gonna bring some yellow in here and some white. And bring those out, and if they don't stand out, well, we'll just put some blue in it. It's your bird, right? So I think he needs a little blue. Let's put a little blue here. And I'm gonna put a little bit more yellow around his body here and some white. And actually, I'm gonna take a little bit of that off and make that part of my background because I like the way the yellow is looking against the crackle. See that? And I'm just gonna bring his tail feathers a little bit further down. So I'm just gonna make them straight blue. Yeah, that looks much better. Oh yeah. And there you have it. In 5 minutes, you have a nice little birdie to take home with you. Gonna put some more of this ochre right here just to tone that down a little bit from the background. And now you have yourself a nice pretty bird. Let me bring the yellow up here and around his beak. Get yourself a nice little stand and you have a nice little birdie in what, 5 minutes or less? I mean, it took you no time at all. It takes you longer to trace the bird pattern than to actually paint it. I'm just gonna put a little bit of white in there and call it a day, just so that we have some. There we go. And he's just a little abstract birdie. Cool, and he's done.